I saw that TikTok house was sued for $600,000 in damages, which doesn't mean that they necessarily won it. So I'm curious. See what we got going on here. My wife likes the Charli D'Amelio show. I watched like one episode. It was decent. And then every episode was this basically just the same episode. So it was boring. But Charlie's cool. Sister, obnoxious though. Let's go.
So some of the members of the most popular TikTok house ever have been sued for essentially leaving their $6 million rental in absolute ruins.
Oh, dang.
Are we surprised a bunch of teenagers with the egos the size of a blimp didn't take care of their $1 million rental? No, not really. But how bad could it have really been?
Burn down the hype house! Oh, no! Right.
Quick and being careful because on our lease it says specifically we are not allowed to light fireworks.
You need to move.
There's a lot of energy going on in these videos. It's so distorted. Is that because there's like a sound or something in it that's DMCA? I'm so confused.
Oh, well, that's a nightmare for the landlord. An expected nightmare.
Hey. We have to get rid of all landlords, guys. Landlords are bad people, okay? All right, so what they're doing is actually good.
Still a nightmare. So this landlord is claiming this group caused over $600,000 of damages according to this KTLA article. I guess this is one of the best examples of self-snitching for clout because all of the examples used in this lawsuit were uploaded to their own YouTube channel by them. I mean, there's just montage reel on montage reel of them just absolutely obliterating this house.
What are you doing? It's probably not a good idea in the house.
I think it's going to be a hard ask to rent a home for TikTok house right now. And if you don't know who the Hype House is, you're probably over the age of 22 and or don't cover internet stupidity for a living, but essentially they were one of the largest TikTok collectives at the time. They had the little hoodies, they had the D'Amelios, they
The little hoodie. Wait, are they actually saying, did he say little hoodie or little huddy? I thought I made a joke, but I think he actually said the right thing.
They had the Daisy Teaches of the world, and they had a whole lot of lawsuits because they just couldn't get along for whatever reason. Or, well, it seems like the whole business was built on, oh, you have TikTok followers? Cool, me too. Let's all move into this house and create a business together because that'll probably go over well. So the house was already falling apart after a couple of months. Maybe not, well, maybe it was physically because we do have evidence of that here.
Yeah, it's weird too because they would have the kids like live with them at the house, I think. And it's just bizarre. Like, what kind of a parent would allow that to happen? Like, why would you let your kids stay there? I just feel like that's so weird. I don't know. Like somebody was like, hey, can I have your 15 or 16-year-old kid live at a house separated from you for their career? I say, absolutely not. What are you talking about? That is so fucking bizarre.
As well, but especially the group was falling apart. The house, maybe because of them as well. And that kind of explains why they allegedly didn't pay all the rent because they ended up moving out early. And I still just can't get over the self-snitching here because it is next level.
Hey, Bruce Rivers, the criminal lawyer, would have something to say about this, okay? Because all the self-snitching needs to stop, bro.
I can only imagine how painful it is to watch those clips as the landlord of that house, but he does go into further detail here.
The most disturbing thing of all, after I saw all these videos of them riding skateboards in the house, this is they broke all my tiles. All the tiles were perfect. I mean,
see, they watched that Mac Miller show back in the day.
Here, broken tile here. You just keep on going. Over there, more broken tiles. Broken tile here. Broken right here. Broken here.
If it wasn't for these meddling kids who rented my house.
These big broken tiles that are they're like.
At least those kids are pretty metal.
Gotten away with a fat payday without a damaged house.
Here, there's so many broken tiles.
Now he just has to sue him for the fat payday.
How this happened. So I really don't know how they did this to the pool, though. But the pool has like 11 motors for the jacuzzi, and now only one of them is working. The heater is broken. The control panels are broken, both of them. There's some videos of them jumping off the roof here.
What in the house didn't they break at this point? The dude rented his house to a bunch of kids role-playing Project X.
On a hot day, you can't walk on this roof because it's a tar roof, and then you ruin all the roofing, so the roofing's messed up on the roof now, too. Then all the furniture...
I mean, hey, at least they had a good time.
It was brand new, and all the furniture looks old and worn out now. And a lot of the cushions are broken. So that's our first glance right now.
They would have trash cans right here with trash overflowing, and the trash would get stuck on this return, cause the machine to freeze, and it would burn up the motor. So we would have to replace the motor. You come in here, you're going to see all the water damage and mold once again. This is water damage. There's mold, black mold. And this is the unit that I pulled chunks of ice out of because it would freeze at night. They would have it set at 65. The room would say 68. It will never hit 65 and it would cause water damage. There's water damage up here on the grill. You can see right here. It would run nonstop. It would drip water down on the ground, causing water damage on the floor.
Bruh. That's
Like
such a
your drip,
young
bro.
adult thing to just not take out the trash, let the trash overflow. I'm gonna be real. I did that in the start after I moved out because I mean, like, you're growing up, you don't want to do chores. Also, in my case, I worked as a janitor. Taking out the trash sucks, but I mean, you have to do it. I can definitely relate to the part of letting my trash pile up way too much. Not
Well, yeah, I think it's a little more than that. I mean, they just literally didn't do anything they were supposed to. They fucking trashed a house skateboarding. It's one thing to have like some fucking, you know, whatever, some trash pile up, but oh my God.
to the point where it blocked an important vent, which ruined the AC and caused a bunch of black mold, though. That's a lot of collateral damage for forgetting to take out the trash. I mean, it was... It's a very wealthy frat house. That's essentially what it looks like.
Yeah, sure, I guess.
This is probably like all the headaches
Shane is not.
the people who rent out to frat houses have to deal with on a regular basis. Wait, how did that happen? Whoa, did someone come
Jesus.
through the ceiling? Hold up, enhance. That's wild, yo. They got the whole ceiling falling through. That's like some serious carnage. At first he was trying like the smashed tile and stuff, which, I mean, that's expensive to replace. But having the entire ceiling like that, how does that happen? I'm like impressed with their ability to totally obliterate a house and film themselves doing it without thinking they would get repercussions for it. But a KTLA article says his former tenants agreed to pay him $10,000 a month over 40 months for the damages and for moving out of the house 5 months early. However, since they left in January 2021, Fitzgerald says the group has only paid him $2,500 a month. They're young. They think, oh, they don't have to pay and they can make up their own rules. But they have to understand what they signed. They signed a court document and you have to live up to it. The group's former landlord says that despite the lawsuit, he still likes social media influencers. They're nice people. You just want Thomas to pay the bill. Thomas is the boss, you know, and he has the money. Or if you get the other people to pay it, that'll be great too. Believe it or not,
Did it finally announce the membership? Hey, thank you so much for the membership. Probably I had like 10 minutes ago.
the experience with the Hype House has not stopped Fitzgerald from renting again to social media starlets. Apparently, he's renting out the house to a new group by the name of Selfie Pop. Never heard of them before, but the more you know. But he goes on to say that's the problem because they have all the money, man. Yeah, so I guess he kind of is in a little bit of a pickle there because the people that can afford that much rent a month normally would just be buying their own house. So I feel like you would kind of need to either rely on people who are in town temporarily or young people that haven't built up their credit enough to.
Well, I mean, like, listen, the reason that they are renting out a house is, for one, because there's really no intention of it being long-term, but also it's a bunch of kids together. It's not just like a one-off thing. It's not like somebody buying a house. Like they're renting out a Hype House so that they can like I don't know if they live in it or they perform in it, basically. So it could seem like they're like rich or whatever. It's all to promote like this like luxurious lifestyle that they very clearly don't actually adhere to, for like clout. That's all it's about. To make them look as like rich and whatever as possible. It's not. That's pretty much what it is. So it has nothing to do with their credit. Because if you have a lot of money, like you can get a house. It's not that like difficult to do.
Buy a home like that. But apparently Selfie Pop, they're doing a good job. So good for them. So let's see. If we search up this dude, Thomas, he posts a whole lot of content bragging about how much money he has.
Better ingredients, better pizza, better money, my clothes, better my shoes, better. I work harder. Go see these.
He forgot to add more rental debt.
Frosty Turkey super chatted $2. Pee pee poo poo papa. Let's make it happen.
Incredible. Thank you so much. Whatever you want me to make happen, I'll do it, my man.
Flexing like this while being 6 figures behind on rent just it seems a little weird. Definitely an influencer moment. I mean, influencers are notoriously terrible at deploying capital. Not a lot of influencers mess up this hard. Like, is not paying really worth going to court for to get a court order to pay? At that point, sell a car or two and then you don't have to worry about it ever again. That seems like the logical move here if you're not liquid enough to pay it right away. Just
Well, they probably don't have that much money. Like it's all bullshit. And like that's the problem. People are like, oh, we're so inflated on TikTok by like views. Or like, oh my god, this is real success, but it's usually is not that like real for success wise. And they end up doing more than they think. Plus, they're young and they're financially illiterate, so they start making bad decisions on top of that. I mean, there's just so many different problems that come about because of dumb fucks like this, you know.
The thought of this court case is entertaining because the landlord's going to be like, they ruined the house. And then the judge is going to be like, all right, where's the proof of that? And then the landlord's going to be like, they filmed it all themselves. Here's a 20-minute reel of them absolutely obliterating the house. Yeah, case closed. All right, so since I recorded the last segment, I did actually get in contact with the landlord and he sent me the lawsuit for us to take a quick look at. Factual background, the defendants are members of the famous TikTok group called the Hype House. Well, they were. I think a lot of them have left since then. Defendants ultimately breached.
I think they had a show at one point, but then everything fell through with like Sienna May and Jack and all that stuff, right? Am I thinking of the right one? I think that's what that was. Yeah, everything fell through. Come on, go. Okay.
the lease agreement by vacating the plaintiff's home 5 months early and causing more than $300,000 in property damage. I'm assuming the $600,000 damage in total is probably the unpaid rent plus the damages that we saw here. They agreed to pay the plaintiff a total sum of $400,000 over 40 months and consecutive payments of $10,000 per month, but in January of 2022, the defendants stopped doing that by only paying $2,500 a month. As a direct and proximate result of the defendants' breaches of settlement agreement, plaintiff has sustained damages in excess of $200,000. Defendants are jointly and severally liable for the performance of all obligations under the settlement agreement, including payments of the entire settlement amount. The settlement amount provides that if a party is required to bring a suit to enforce the terms of agreement, including the obligation to pay money, the prevailing party shall recover his attorney's fees and costs. So,
I mean, my thing is like, I wonder, like, what if they just don't pay and they just burn through, like, whatever they have, I don't know, their credit or whatever. That's it. Because I don't think for suits like this that they will allow the government, or I don't think that the government will go as far as to start, like, siphoning or stifling, whatever the word is, their check. I don't think that this would be a matter that would require that. So these kids might just say, fuck it, they're young, they don't pay, and they don't care. Maybe, I don't know. I don't know how the specifics works. I don't know, maybe they can file for bankruptcy. I don't know if that's exactly how it works, but I don't know.
it looks like the Hype House members have done a massive financial oopsie. Either way, this is going to be very expensive for them. Today, we learned if you are a decamillionaire landlord, don't rent your house out to the Hype House. Subscribe for more useful life hacks.
Yeah, true.
I want Papa Gut to pee on my face, but just as a friend. There's nothing weird about that. I want him to pee on my face.